Look outside your window. The sky, the winds, the storms. They are no longer the same. Summers are burning hotter, winters are unpredictable, floods and fires are reshaping our lands. This is not just weather. This is a story. The story of how our planet's balance was broken and whether humanity can restore it. For millions of years, Earth has changed its climate. Ice ages have come and gone. Oceans have frozen and melted again. Deserts have turned green, and green lands have turned to dust. These changes were slow. They took thousands, even millions of years. Nature moved at its own rhythm. But then, something different began. In the last 2 centuries, the rhythm has been broken. The change is no longer natural. It is faster, sharper, and more destructive than anything Earth has ever seen. Scientists began to notice. Glaciers melting faster than expected, storms growing stronger, sea levels rising. At first, many thought it was just another natural cycle, but soon the evidence became undeniable. Something else was driving this change, and the fingerprints pointed to us, human beings. The year is 1760. Europe stands at the edge of the Industrial Revolution. Steam engines roar, factories rise, coal fires light up the skies. This was the dawn of progress. Cities grew, trains carried people faster than ever, machines replaced hands. Human civilization leapt forward, but hidden in this success was a silent cost. Smoke rising from chimneys carried carbon into the sky. Millions of tons of coal burned every year, filling the atmosphere with gases invisible to the eye, but deadly for balance. By the 20th century, oil joined coal. Cars filled the streets, airplanes cut through the skies, and forests, the planet's lungs, were cut down for timber, for farms, for expansion. The Earth, once breathing in harmony, began to choke. And so began the age of human-driven climate change. At first, people didn't notice. The world seemed bigger than us. How could human activity possibly change the vastness of the sky? But by the mid-20th century, the warnings became louder. Scientists showed charts of rising temperatures. They spoke of greenhouse gases trapping heat in the atmosphere, the way glass traps heat inside a greenhouse. The world had entered a new age, not of ice, not of stone, but of carbon. To understand climate change, we must understand the trap we have built around ourselves. The sun's rays enter our atmosphere, warming the Earth. Normally, much of this heat escapes back into space, but greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, form a blanket around the planet. This blanket traps heat, and every year the blanket grows thicker. In Europe, winters grew less predictable. In Africa, droughts stretched for years. In Asia, monsoon rains turned violent. In the Americas, hurricanes gained strength, tearing cities apart. This is not coincidence. This is physics. More heat in the system means more energy for storms, more evaporation, more chaos. And the numbers don't lie. Since the late 19th century, the Earth's temperature has risen by more than 1 degree Celsius. It may sound small, but on a planetary scale, it is enormous. It is the difference between an ice age and the world we know today. The first warnings were ignored. In the 1950s and 60s, a few scientists tried to sound the alarm. They spoke of melting ice caps, of rising seas, of dangerous futures. But governments and industries had other priorities: growth, profit, power. The oil companies produced more fuel, the factories produced more smoke, and the public continued life as normal. By the 1980s, evidence was impossible to deny. Satellite images showed shrinking glaciers. Weather data revealed record-breaking temperatures, and storms began destroying lives at a scale not seen before. Finally, the world began to whisper the word climate change. But was it already too late? The 1990s arrived with a warning written across the skies. Europe was hit by unprecedented heat waves. In 2003, a single summer killed more than 70,000 people across the continent. Crops withered, rivers dried, and power plants shut down as the heat overwhelmed entire nations. In America, hurricanes grew stronger. Katrina in 2005 devastated New Orleans, flooding homes, destroying lives, leaving scars that still remain today. In Asia, monsoon rains turned violent. Millions of families were displaced as floods swallowed villages. And across the Arctic, glaciers that had stood for thousands of years began to collapse into the sea. For the first time, climate change was no longer theory. It was reality, visible, deadly, and undeniable. But even then, the world hesitated. Leaders gathered in conferences, made promises, signed agreements, and yet emissions kept rising. The world was moving too slowly, while the planet was changing too fast. Behind every chart, every statistic, there are faces, families, lives forever changed. A farmer in Africa watching his land dry into desert. A fisherman in Asia finding no fish where waters once teemed with life. A family in Europe losing their home to floods. Entire island nations watching the ocean creep closer to their doors each year. Climate change is not just about the future. It is about now. It is about children breathing polluted air. It is about parents choosing between food and clean water. It is about communities forced to abandon the places they have called home for generations. Scientists call it climate migration, but for families it is simply loss. Loss of home, loss of heritage, loss of hope. And yet, amidst this tragedy, voices began to rise. Students marching in the streets, movements demanding change. A new generation refusing to accept a dying planet. Today we stand at a crossroads. On one path, business as usual. A world where global temperatures rise by 3, even 4 degrees by the end of the century. In that world, ice sheets vanish, seas rise meters high, cities drown, and billions are left struggling to survive. On the other path, change. Renewable energy replacing coal and oil. Forests protected and restored. Communities adapting, innovating, surviving. The choice is ours. But the window is closing fast. Scientists warn we have only a few decades left to prevent the worst. Every year of delay locks in greater danger for the generations to come. The weather has changed. The question has always been, why? And now we know the answer. It changed because of us. But here is the truth. If we cause this, we can still change it. No action is too small. Every tree planted, every car replaced, every light powered by the sun instead of coal, it all matters. Because climate change is not only a story of destruction, it is a story of choice. And the choice is still in our hands. So when you look outside your window, when you see the storms, the floods, the heat, remember this. The weather is changing. The real question is, will we?